Hi everybody, my name is John. I'm going to give you a quick overview of how to upload a file and create some charts from some data. So here I've created a file with all the provinces in Afghanistan with one sort of mismatch here. I'm just going to use this to show you how we can take any arbitrary string and map it to an identity, for instance in this case a location. We're also going to create indicators for count male and count female, as well as a couple of calculations for that. The campaign will also create for July employee census. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to source data, which is our way we manage uploads and in the future API connections. So very simple. I now can see sort of row by row the information that's come in. So this one is correspondent to this row. So 87 and 11, male and female, that's correct. Also, if I want to search for the one that I kind of toyed with, this is it right here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go into mapped. One thing really quick just to show you, I can download the raw document and it's going to be the same as this. I'll show you that in 1 second. See here. There you go. So the only thing is it has a unique key which we created in the back end to make these campaigns and provinces identifiable. Now we have the mapped information. So these are strings that the system has already recognized mean something. I can change those here if I want to. So the ID is 18, etc. I'm not going to change that at this time. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go to the unmapped. So when we have this refresh master button, which is going to allow you to sync something when it's new. So right now what we're going to do is go to results. There should be nothing because we have to map the indicators, we have to map the campaign. So cool. So we have an indicator. Let's see what indicators we have. So interestingly, or whatever you want to call it, it recognizes province, unique key, geocode, and campaign as indicators as our column headings. But really the ones we want are count male and count female. For a campaign, we have July employee census, and then for location, we have this one here. So just to show you how to make this work, I'm going to just add that. And now that's going to go away, and it's going to go into the map section. So as you may know, we don't have those indicators and campaigns. So I'm just going to go now, and I'm going to create the campaign, and we're going to call it July census. I'll call it Afghanistan, and then the tag, we'll leave that as WOC indicators for now. For that, actually, let's just create a tag so that we can kind of group our indicators in a nice way. So I'm going to create a tag. It's going to be called employee census. We can add a parent if we want, but right now we're going to just leave it at the base. So this is not going to automatically refresh, as do some of the other React components in our app. But here we have the employee census. So effectively, we're saying that this campaign is responsible for handling these indicators. Top level indicator, we can make Afghanistan. Start date is sort of trivial for now. I can get back into that in a second. Campaign type, we'll just make it be an ID just to sort of give you the idea. Now, we created the campaign, so if I want to create a couple indicators, I'm not only going to create the census male and census female, I'm going to create a total and a percentage. So census male, and it's an integer. Source name is John, whatever. This bound thing I can get to in a second. It basically has to do with like the stoplight colors that I know our UN clients like so much. Yellow, red, and green. We can set bounds to indicators in order to say if they are good, bad, or in between. So for now, we just put 0 and 1 sort of as a placeholder. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Female. So we got some validation there. That's nice that worked. Indicator created successfully. So we're going to create 2 more. I'm going to create total census. Total census, description, John, 0, 1, save, data format the same as integer. So we have a bug here where it's showing all the possible tags here. but what we're going to do is just add employee census to this so we can kind of group them. Now we're also going to do something kind of cool here, which is add a calculation. So this is going to be the sum of the male and the female. Census male, census female. So it's going to sum these to create this number. Finally, we're going to create one that's called percentage female, percent female, and that, and this is an integer, percent female, John, 0, 1, there we go. Similarly, we can, do that. Similarly, we can add a tag for employee census just to kind of keep it organized. Now, as calculations, we're going to create a numerator, and it's going to be female, census female, and then we're going to create a denominator that is going to be total census. So we're going to use the two raw pieces of information in order to create this downstream indicator for percentage female. Pretty simple stuff. Now, what we're going to do is go back to source data now that we've created our indicators. We might want to keep that page open just to have some reference. We're going to go back to the ID or the upload that we created, and in the unmapped section for indicator, we have count male and count female. So this is count female, that's correct. This is count male. Then we have campaign, and that is July employee census. And I don't know if we made this one yet. We did not. So let's do that. Campaigns, create campaign. We're going to call this July employee census. Wait a second, I thought we did create this. Oh, didn't have a display name. That's interesting. So let's edit it. July employee census. Save. Cool. Now that should be there. All set. Now, hopefully this will show us employee. Okay, let's refresh. And let's try to get this one working for us. There we go. Cool. So now we have our metadata mapped, and we're going to click my favorite button in the website, Refresh Master. And this is going to sync the data through. And now we have results. So census female, census. Let's see if we got the total census. Total census. Cool. Percent. There we go. Percent female. So we're starting to do some aggregations here, as you can see, and also, furthermore, we have the central region, which is not data that we uploaded for, but data that has been aggregated. So the same thing here with like the south. If I type in south, all this data, we didn't upload any of this data. We took this as a sum from all of the provinces there. Now the other thing I'll check is Faryab. See, even though we didn't have the correct, or whatever you want to call it, mapping for that, we were able to do it in the app and sort of make that justification. So now the fun part comes. So we're going to go to create a dashboard, and we really are interested in the census information. So census data for our employees. And the first chart, let's just select a 2-column layout, and we're going to create a chart. It's going to be a bubble map. Yes, it is for this one, and let's make it for Afghanistan. And we want to look at province data, and the indicator is going to be census, so total census. Let's see how this one works. There we go. So pretty cool. Census. That's good. I kind of want to change the color on this. I'm not sure if this one allows for it. I know the other ones do, but regardless, we can save this. And this now has its own thing, like its own resource. So we can just look at it individually, which I'll show you in a second. Let's just do a map chart, because I know everyone likes maps. Start in Afghanistan, and we'll say, let's talk about female percent. This is going to be a nice chart for us by looking at. There we go. So, and we can change this color to be a scale in pink. Green. There we go. So you have a pretty good idea as to where we have a good percentage of, and this is actually ironically an indicator that we do trace, which is percentage of female vaccinators. So here we go. Percent female vax. Save that one. I'll save the dashboard. And what I'm going to do now is I can share this with my pals. I can look at it standalone. I can also look at the charts standalone. So here we have female, there we go, percent female vaccinated. So one of the things that I'll show you is when we look at this dashboard, now I can go to South region, and I think that's because we have not exactly sure. Anyway, okay, so that's a little bit bizarre, but a little bug for you guys. Regardless, you can look at this on different levels. So for this example, we know that we have very few people in Rhizome province, quite a few in Helmand, Nimraz, not so many, etc. So let's do a little bit and dig a little bit deeper. We're going to create another row. Just create one like this, and then let's create a column chart. And it's going to be for multiple indicators, but for Afghanistan. And the indicators are going to be, so we can use our tag to create here. So all of our nice indicators we've created and we put under here. These ones probably aren't going to be what we want. I think what we're going to want is male and female. We can create a nice stacked bar chart. Census female. Let's just try census female for now. We'll look at province level. There we go. So we have a breakdown of all the provinces, and I don't really like that color. I want that to be purple. And let's try to add one more. I'm not sure why this is missing. Census male. There we go. Boom. So now we have a really nice chart. If you want, I can even go down further into district. It's not going to show that nicely. But we can see the provinces in Afghanistan and sort of what their census looks like. As you guys can tell, this is randomized between 0 and 100 that I did in Excel, but that is pretty much it. Let's see if we can do some other stuff for you guys. Province. We can also do really nice, so as I mentioned that we didn't upload the data for the regions, we still have that data here. So we can do some analysis based off data that wasn't actually uploaded. As, for instance, we have for the percentage. So this is going to be regional breakdown census. Save that. I will also save this one. And what I'm going to do is just save this. This is just going to, this chart has already been created. I can show you here. Regional breakdown. So again, I can just view that. I can duplicate it, whatever, delete it. And so we have this little bumblebee style chart. Now we can do a couple of different things. So some users like to see like this. What's the breakdown of male versus female on kind of as a stack. Some like to see it as 100% stack. Some people like to see it broken down like this. So that's the tour. If you have any questions, please give me a message at ingest@gmail.com. Thank you so much.